This is my review on The Amazing Spider-Man 2! Somehow we managed to top it. In my opinion, I think this is better than the first one. So the movie opens up and showing Peter's dad recording a video while getting rid of all the the equation for the lizard DNA, and except we see more of instead of Peter's side of playing hide and seek with I've been playing hide and seek with his dad, and then someone breaks in and some mysterious figures break in, and he gets seen on this board, which is the answer to the lizard the DNA to regrow a person's body part. It shows us it shows more of the science stuff of his dad's work and how his mother, Peter's mother, was sort of working together, and and decided to leave Peter so we could protect him, and saying how they're discussing how they're going to be on the run for the rest of our life, and we can't do that to our son. And then while he's uploading something on his computer, which was a video he made, and the plane gets attacked by a bad guy, and his wife gets killed, and he fights a guy and kills the guy, and it's open to decide if he died in that plane crash or not, which is this deleted scene where he didn't, which answers the question, did he die in that plane crash or did he survive? The answer was, in this deleted scene that was for some reason ripped out of the film, is that he did survive the plane crash. It was when Peter's seeing this, visiting this grave for this person, a special person in his life, and he sees his father with a full beard, and he says, "You can't give up, son, on doing what's right and saying you have to do for your mother and Gwen, and saying with great power comes great responsibility." And in him and Peter are hugging each other, and he ends the scene ends with him saying, "I love you, son." And that would have worked perfectly if they could somehow figure to work this into the end of the film. And I'm not going to tell you whose grave that is until this end of this review. So, and like good Spider-Man movies, which is 4 of them: Homecoming and Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. The emotions stay with you no matter how many times you watch the movie and you know what's coming. Especially with this one. So, anyway, Peter opens up with Peter as Spider-Man, and he's stopping the Paul Giamatti of Rhino before he comes around. He comes around at the end of the film due to this events that happens in this film, and this mysterious figure, which was also talking to Kirk Connors in the first one, and putting together the Sinister Six, and to this genius plan to stop Peter, who I think he knows that Peter is, no wait, I guess, doesn't, if I'm analyzing what happens in this film, he definitely knows that Peter and Spider-Man are the same person. And while the meantime, he's also seeing ghosts of Gwen's dad. And while he's trying to stop the Paul Giamatti's Rhino, and this truck, and he's this truck has a bunch of the stuff falling out. It's sort of this some sort of science Oscorp stuff, and he's getting all of them, and he webs them up, and he whistles the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man theme, while he's webbing down Paul Giamatti's pants and webbing and take away his gun and webbing his arm from right to left, and this says and he's running late for his graduation, and Gwen tries calling him, and he makes, and this all happens while Gwen's making this speech about the future and the past, and holding on to those things as long as you can, the things that give you hope. And every day is a new day, and that kind of stuff. That's basically what she's saying. And just because something bad happens in your life doesn't mean it's the end of life. It's the end of all life, or your life. Think of it as another chapter. Spider-Man slowly, in slow motion, he stops a bus and saves a father and son, and anyway, he makes it to the graduation, but he forgot to take off his mask, so he realizes he has it on, so he takes it off, and he kisses Gwen Stacy after she makes that editing really good speech that I bet took a lot of her personal time doing. I'm guessing she's worked on that speech since the first Spider-Man film, before Peter became Spider-Man. And that's my guess, because it's a pretty damn good speech. Incredible. I'm surprised they didn't give her a reward just for that. And Aunt May seems to be a little shocked and confused that Peter kissed Gwen in front of the crowd. Hey, his time as Spider-Man's really give him a boost of confidence with his relationship. And while he was running later, he saved this guy called Matt. And he says he's nobody and losing, and Peter says that he not losing, and he says he needs him, he's his eyes and ears out here. And yeah, I said Matt, I meant Max. Max, played by Jamie Foxx, who is the main villain, who becomes the main villain of the film. And Peter celebrating after he kisses Gwen on stage. He says how Uncle Ben would be agrees with Uncle Ben would be with Aunt May, agrees that Uncle Ben would be so proud of him, and he also says, and my parents, and Aunt May just goes, yeah, like sure, whatever. So you kind of know something was odd with that might have pissed Aunt May off. So you kind of know that there's something like wrong. I made the wrong way about Peter's parents that happened, but you don't know what it can be. So anyway, he goes on the date with Gwen, and Peter says he's been feeling guilty about not keeping his promise, and Gwen and Peter break up, and he doesn't see Gwen. He sees Gwen, watches her while she's getting coffee and stuff. So Peter keeps on seeing her because he misses being together, dating her, and doesn't really tell, but when they decide to hang out, Gwen figures out that he's been watching him, and Peter has a get together with his buddy Harry, who his father died of some sort of this disease called goblin disease. And it's called which is genetic and runs in the family, and Harry has it too, but he has early symptoms of it, and he tells Harry before he dies he can finish what he was working on, a cure for Goblin's disease, which is his life's work, was to find a cure for, while he was sending Harry away to a bunch of schools and, well, robbing Harry of and not really spending any time with Harry at all. So they obviously don't say what he died of on the television, but Peter goes to make Harry feel better because he was there when his parents went away and made him feel better, and so he figures he owns him, plus he misses him. He comes to his house when he's having a meeting with the company, and basically saying that Felicia works for me, and where from now on you do everything what Felicia says. Does anyone have a problem with this? And the salt station is good. Then you get to keep your jobs. Then the rest of you get to keep your jobs. Just keep your jobs. Peter and Harry start talking, and Harry points out how that was so long ago, that was years ago, and I haven't really seen it since then. And he says that you don't have the unibrow, and Peter says, Peter, you don't have the unibrow anymore. And Peter asks him, do you still have your servants to comb and blow dry your hair every morning? I used to comb, and one of my servants use the hair dryer, so I'm not completely useless. So we go out and have coffee, and Peter almost slips up and says that he's Spider-Man by knowing this thing that Harry went to, and he turns it into a excuse that's a joke, and says you being with the Marvel magazine, and they start laughing, and they throw pebbles into the water, skipping stones across the water, and Peter says salt his face because he can do so much better because he's Spider-Man and he has like incredible strength. And so he doesn't know if he has a girlfriend or not, which comes to think about how does he not know if he has a girlfriend if he broke up with her. Just Harry. Anyway, he Harry doesn't take Spider-Man seriously and says he's the Spider-Man, and Peter says he's the Spider-Man that he gives the people hope. As one day things going to be better, and sometime, and Peter, no, Harry says to Peter, you might not, you don't think I got that much time, and Peter doesn't question what that means, and anyway, we see, Max, no one in his work respects him or really cares about him, and thinks that he's basically not doesn't really do anything for the company. No one really sees him, especially his boss that tells him to work late. You know, it's his birthday, and he says they could told the cat happy birthday, and says, really, it's your birthday, and I'm Spider. Really? You do that? Seeing that help the company? And this leads to him saying, I'm Spider-Man at some point in the conversation. And we see Jamie Foxx fantasy of completely snapping and losing his temper and says, you're not Spider-Man. He's like, here, if you ever say that again, I'm going to rip your head off. And he just says, get your business, and says, yeah, okay, sure. And he runs into Gwen Stacy, and she's actually nice to Max, and he introduces his name to Max. Introduces his name to her, and says that it's my birthday, and so really, it is. And says, congratulations, good for you. And she says, the guest list. He says the guest list is full. And says this kind of comes up in this. It says that Spider-Man is invited, and he says how Spider-Man saved his life, and out of all the people he saved me, so he feels so special, and Gwen's a little pissed at Peter, so because listening to him talk so great, thing that Peter, and says he said he needed me. And Gwen says, oh, he did, and so it says happy birthday, Max, and as she leaves the oven, and Max says, wait, she remembered my name. So and she said it was nice meeting him, and Um, we see Max celebrate his birthday with the cake, and he's pretending that Spider-Man is in his house and wish him a happy birthday, and pretend that Spider-Man was the one that made him a cake, and talking to the Spider-Man who's not there and saying how awesome he is. And so and says you're the amazing Spider-Man. That's what people should call is this. And so Harry says to Peter while he's testing out his web shoes to be strong enough for Electro. I skipped the problem. So anyway, he gets a call from. I'm telling you before what happened. So you all caught up to speed. He gets a call from Gwen saying asking Peter if he wants to hang out. And he does, and the slow romantic moment he's just like gets distracted by Gwen, and he's basically walking across the street and not paying attention to the guys and all, like saying watch it at the same watch. Oh. and this romantic music is this kind of really good music, like catchy, get stuck in your head. Romantic music is playing, and you just get into it, and so he gets frozen yogurt with Glenn, and they put on. P says, if we're not doing weed, there has to be some boundaries, and she says, okay. So